Okay, children, continuing with chapter 1. Now we are on page number 6 of your textbook and we will talk about effect of change of temperature. As we have discussed in the other class, normally suppose if there is a liquid, you give it heat and it turns into vapor. Okay, and similarly if the vapor we want to convert back into liquid, we can do that by using a process called condensation. Now there is an activity which is there on page 6 and it is a very interesting activity. Basically he takes a beaker and he puts some water in it, okay, water which is obviously in the form of liquid, and then he also puts some ice blocks, okay, some ice blocks are also put inside it, okay, and then we start heating the water. The water is being heated by using a Bunsen burner and we are heating the water. Now generally when we are heating the water, we assume that since we are giving heat to the water will start getting heated up. But one phenomena is noted: until all the ice is melted, the temperature of the water remains constant, it does not increase. Only once all the ice has changed to water, then only the temperature of the water starts rising. So this phenomena is also known as latent heat or hidden heat. Basically the crux or the principle is, until initially the heat which is supplied goes into changing the state of the substance, which is in the form of ice. First all the ice will come into become water and then only the temperature will start increasing. In fact, there is this question, when a solid melts, its temperature remains the same. So where does the heat energy go? Okay. Now the answer is also in the textbook also. You must have observed during the experiment of melting, which we just discussed, that the temperature of the system does not change after the melting point is reached till all the ice melts. This happens even though we continue to heat the beaker. The temperature of the water does not change even when we keep on supplying heat to the beaker. This heat gets used up in changing the state by overcoming the forces of attraction between the particles. This heat is used in overcoming the forces of attraction in ice. Okay. As this heat energy is absorbed by ice without showing any rise in temperature, it is considered that it gets hidden in the contents of the beaker and is also known as latent heat. The word latent heat means hidden. Okay. Now there is this formula, Ek is equal to Tc plus 273. Now using this formula, we can suppose a temperature is given, say 20 Kelvin. Okay, and they tell you to convert it into centigrade. So where just put 20 here, Tc plus 273. This 273 will go on that side. So minus 253 K minus 253 centigrade will be your answer. Similarly, if it is given convert 20 centigrade to Kelvin, so where that Tc is written, just write 20 plus 273, so answer will be 293 Kelvin. So whatever value of the temperature is given, you just have to substitute in the formula and calculate the other one. Either this will be asked or this will be asked. One of the two will be asked. Now there is this diagram. If you see, solid state to liquid state, if we give it heat, liquid to gaseous state, again if we supply heat, it becomes into vapor. Gaseous, if we cool it, we condense it, we get liquid state, and liquid again if we cool it, then we get solid state. Of course, this is a general representation. In science, as I told you the other day, there will always be exceptions. For example, if I heat this wood, that does not mean it will turn into solid. There will be some exceptions always. Okay. Now, although I don't think many of you will be helping, but suppose during when the winter ends, okay, then you may be helping your mother or parents to keep the sweaters inside your almirah, because obviously you won't be using sweaters in the summer season. Now when we are putting in sweaters, sometimes you will be putting white colored small balls. These are known as naphthalene balls. The interesting thing about these balls is, say after 5 months or 3 months, when you again take out those clothes, then those balls are not there, they disappear. So basically this process is known as sublimation. Substances which change directly from solid to gas or from gas to solid without coming into liquid state are known as sublimable substances. There is an activity also which is done over here, sublimation of ammonium chloride. Basically to accelerate the process, we put some ammonium chloride in the china dish and give it some heat. And after some time we realize that it is there on the neck of the beaker. Okay, it is present in the neck of the beaker. A common question is asked, why is a cotton plug put on top of the beaker? It is put on top of the beaker because otherwise this will escape. Okay, because it is turned into gaseous state and it will escape. So in this, if you see this activity over here, interconversion of three states of matter: solid to liquid, liquid to gas, and gas to solid or solid to gas. Solid to gas or gas to solid is known as sublimation. Okay, and in fact there are many other different names also of the same thing. For example, solid to liquid, it is basically solid turns into liquid when we give it some heat. So this process is also known as fusion. Liquid to solid, suppose water is there, if we convert it to ice, we basically freeze it. This process is also known as solidification. Similarly, liquid to gas is also known as vaporization if we give it more heat, and gas to liquid of course is written as condensation. So right now we have changed about, we have talked about how the temperature is affecting the change of state. Now the second way of course you can change the state is by applying pressure. So basically if you see this activity, this figure pointed, by applying pressure, particle of matter can be brought close together, and when we bring them close together we can change their state. For example, by applying pressure and reducing temperature we can liquefy gases. A gas which is in the state of air, which we can, if we bring the particles together, we can make it into a liquid state. In fact, there is one common question which comes: have you heard of solid carbon dioxide? It is stored under high pressure. Solid carbon dioxide gets converted directly to gaseous state on decrease of pressure to 1 atmosphere without coming into liquid state. This is the reason solid carbon dioxide is also known as dry ice. This is a very common question which comes in the exams. So basically right now we have talked about two ways in which we can change the state of matter: by changing the temperature or by changing the pressure. Now if you see page 9, first question is convert the following temperature into Celsius scale. So these two values, 300 Kelvin, so 300 you will write here, and just whatever value of centigrade you will get. Similarly 573 also you will write here Kelvin, and again get the value of centigrade. Second question is, what is the physical state of water at, first question is at 250 degrees centigrade. Now the boiling point of water is 100 degrees centigrade, so obviously at 250 degrees centigrade it will be gas or vapor. Second question is, what is the physical state of water at 100 degrees centigrade? Now as we know, the water starts boiling at 100 degrees centigrade. So when this type of question comes, it will be in both the states. It will be in gaseous state also as well as in water state. Some part of water would have already turned and some would be turning. So in this question you will write both, that it will be in the gaseous as well as water state. Question number 3, for any substance, why does the temperature remain constant during change of state? That we have already discussed just now, that it goes in changing the state of the substance. So you have to write this answer properly. And next is, suggest a method to liquefy atmospheric gases. So when you are doing this question, suggest a method to liquefy atmospheric gases. Just read this, what we have just discovered. By applying pressure and reducing temperature, we can liquefy gases. Okay, cheers.